clip from a fellow Jeremiah Babe about car dealers, car dealerships, and homeless people in Southern California. I'll play it. It's just part of it. You can find it all online.
I was reading an article today. I made a couple notes really quick I want to go over with you. Real unemployment, according to shadowstats.com, is now 39%. Now remember, money printing is not going to fix this problem.
Yeah, I don't know who thinks that. I'll go on with this.
When you have massive money printing and an unemployment rate of 39%, half this country not working, we are going to have a very negative outcome. There was an article today on The Hedge with Egan von Greers, one of the smartest precious metals people on the face of the earth. He said investors have been buying the dip for 8 weeks while the world collapses. They're oblivious to the real economy, to the world economy. Instead, they're focusing on the injection of liquidity in the form of worthless money. And this.
Yeah, that's how it seems to me. I'll continue this, but it just seems unbelievable. I got out. Yes, I got out near the bottom. I lost some money, not a whole lot, but I have no interest in going back in. It seems like it would be a reckless thing to do.
Just the main reason why you need to be putting gold and silver away, why you need to have a cash reserve, why you need to be getting the debts paid down.
All good advice.
These investors believe there's only one important sector in the economy, which is finance and money printing. The worse the economy turns, the more money is printed, and stock market investors love it. The world is paralyzed, But who cares when you have money printers who can just create trillions out of thin air? Who cares?
Yep, that's how it seems. Very cynical about the whole thing, just going for money and not worrying about anything else. I understand the psychology, but it's sad.
If a company makes profits when central banks can create all the money the world needs. Just think about that. All these corporations on Wall Street not even making money because they're solely reliant on the central banks, the Federal Reserve, to print money. Egan goes on to say, it's fortunate for investors that the money business is booming and causing all this euphoria in the stock market. To make money in the stock market, you don't need companies producing goods. All you need is a friendly central banker who keeps on printing. There is no means of avoiding the final collapse of a boom brought on by credit expansion. And you can believe that or you can deny it, but at the end of the day, we're all going to find out. Look, I can afford to be wrong, but can you afford for me to be right? The worst case scenario for me is I'm going to be sitting on gold and silver, which will always have a value. I'll be sitting on security. I'll be sitting on food and water, which if I can't use it, I'll give it to homeless people. But at the end of the day, we will find out who will be right, who will be wrong. And in all honesty, I hope I'm 100% wrong. What's going to matter is, can you survive? How dangerous will times be? How desperate will people have become? Will you be able to eat? So
well, I'm going to stop this now. I'm going to skip ahead.
And this is why I believe it's so important to have security.
I'm going to start it up again because he's driving through some homeless. He says it's a lot worse now. This is Southern California. Well, I guess we're familiar with all these sites. He claims it's gotten worse in the last 6 months. I'm 77 years old. I grew up in LA. And we did have Skid Row, and I've seen bums around, but this. You used to get vagrancy. They wouldn't allow people to do this back in the 50s, 60s, 70s. Even the 2000s, I don't remember seeing people camping on the street. It's an industrial area. I don't know where it is. But It's sad. It's terrible. I think years of government dependency, public education, where you don't really learn anything of value, where you're cooped up. It's wrong to do that to kids. This is my own editorial here. Nothing to do with this gentleman. There you go, school buses. It's all about mind control. I mean, it's so obvious when the state wants to take 5-year-olds or even now preschool and get a hold of them and subject them to whatever the state wants to impose upon them. Strangers, authorities, telling them what's important to know, not allowing children an opportunity to explore the world, to have fun, to have joy in their life, to be friends with people they want to be friends with. And children, people are naturally sociable. You don't need to be jammed in a school room. In fact, they punish you if you talk to somebody in class. They did me. I was always getting held over. I don't know where this is. Somewhere in LA or Southern California. Seems to be Ontario. Oh, here's the auto center. He says there's all these cars going begging. I think he said 84 months, 0 interest. So, but nobody's looking to buy a car now. If you had a lot of money, a lot of staff, it might pay off someday if you could turn it over in the future, but who needs it? So there's all the cars. Nobody browsing, that's what he wanted to say on a Saturday. Normally you'd see people, out looking for deals on cars on a nice day, but I don't see anybody. Well, might as well pontificate a little bit more about I was thinking about rule of law. We were so impressed with that, and democracy, these things that make us proud. But when you think about rule of law, I was thinking about the Fourth Amendment, the one that you're supposed to be secure in your papers. And yet every April 15th, you got to cough everything over. You hand it over. I mean, if anything is more confidential, I would say people don't want people knowing about their finances, but the IRS demands an accounting of everything you make, and then they want to cut. And there's the other thing, it was the income tax, 1913. That was passed in 1913. In the late 19th century, in the 1890s, the income tax was attempted but found to be unconstitutional. But they passed the 16th Amendment, and the Federal Reserve, 1913, all that came to be. And so that became the law of the land, even without a vote of the people. It was a 3/4 of the legislatures. And then people will say, oh, well, but if it isn't legal, the Supreme Court or the justices would throw that out, wouldn't they? The courts would throw it out. Well, the people that work in the courts, the judges and the lawyers, they all work for the government too. How convenient. You make the laws and then you adjudicate them, the same people. The legislators make the law, and then the people that are in on it, And on the take, they say, well, yeah, that's legal. Yeah, and of course, I'm an idiot. You know, they say, I didn't go to law school, so I don't know anything. Anyway, so that's a fiasco. What am I up to? 10 minutes? Well, it takes a long time to upload, so I'm going to stop it here. Okay, you've seen enough. You've heard enough. Thank you. Bye.